Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. So today we're doing something I find absolutely fascinating. We're actually pulling back the curtain on the exact blueprint used to teach the daily routines behind wealth. You know when you watch one of those highly engaging, viral pieces of content about financial success, and you just kind of think, man, how did they make this so incredibly easy to watch? Well, today we're looking at the literal DNA, the actual master instructions used to construct those very lessons. We're going to deconstruct the mechanics of an optimized wealth explainer piece by piece, so you can see exactly how complex financial concepts are translated into totally captivating, actionable daily habits. Right, so here is our roadmap for how the pros craft the perfect financial lesson. First, we've got the Wealth Script blueprint. Second, hooking the audience. Third, structuring the 10 habits. Fourth, grounding with real examples. Fifth, mastering audience engagement. And finally, number 6, the powerful ending. All right, let's jump right into section 1, the Wealth Script Blueprint, or as I like to call it, the Master Prompt. Now notice the explicit demand here for a true triple threat persona. The source material doesn't just ask for a writer. No, it demands a blending of a writer, an educator, and a storytelling expert all rolled into one cohesive voice. And honestly, this is the secret sauce to making the daily routines behind wealth actually hit home. Think about it. A scriptwriter understands pacing, a finance educator knows the core value of the habits being taught, and a storytelling expert, well, they make sure you actually care about the information. It just goes to show that to teach wealth effectively, throwing facts at a wall isn't going to cut it. You really need that engaging narrative. Okay, moving on. The blueprint dictates a precise maximum word count of roughly 1,200 to 1,500 words. And look, this isn't just some arbitrary number they pulled out of thin air. It's strategically optimizing the script for a tightly paced 7 to 8 minute delivery. Why does this matter? Well, because when you're teaching people about the daily routines behind wealth, cognitive overload is literally your biggest enemy. This specific constraint forces the creator to be ruthless, trimming away any fluff and ensuring every single second provides direct, high-impact value. And check this out. The core topic is locked in at exactly 10 daily money habits of successful people. Providing viewers with a highly structured, easily digestible listicle format, it's a proven psychological tool. When our brains see a nice, clean number like 10, they instantly understand the commitment required and recognize the structured path ahead. It takes a massive, sometimes intimidating topic like how to build wealth and breaks it down into a series of totally achievable, bite-sized routines. Which brings us to section 2. Hooking the audience and capturing that attention early. The source strictly mandates a strong hook followed immediately by a concise introduction. Because, let's be real, in the landscape of digital learning, if you don't secure your viewers' attention in those first few crucial seconds, the rest of your beautifully structured 10 habits won't even matter. People will just click away. This requirement ensures the audience is instantly captivated and actually ready to learn. Plus, the demand for a 100% original, SEO-optimized script shows that this explainer is designed to be, discoverable. It's engineered from the ground up to find the exact audience actively searching to level up their financial routines. All right, let's look at section 3, structuring the 10 habits, focusing on what we call the educational loop. This brilliantly illustrates the repetitive educational loop required for each of those 10 habits. Just look at how meticulously they break this down. Step 1, introduce the habit clearly. Step 2, explain why it actually works. Step 3, anchor it with a real-life example. And step 4, provide actionable practical tips. This 4-step loop guarantees that learners can logically follow and, more importantly, retain the information. By repeating this exact same cycle 10 times, the script creates a really comforting rhythm. It makes consuming complex financial knowledge feel totally effortless and incredibly organized. Moving to section 4, grounding with real examples. Taking things from an abstract concept to actual action. Consider the clear dividing line they draw here between the concept, which is the actual explanation of the habit, and the application, the real-life examples and practical tips. By forcing this transition from a lofty, abstract explanation down to concrete, real-life application, the script caters perfectly to its ultimate goal, which is providing actionable value. I mean, it's one thing to just tell someone, hey, save money. It is an entirely different, way more powerful thing to explain how successful people systematically automate their savings, share a story of someone actually doing it, and then give a specific tip on which app to download today. And then we have this overarching directive: use simple English. This is absolutely vital. It's the guiding principle behind making complex daily money habits truly accessible. Let's face it, the financial world is notoriously filled with exclusionary jargon that just confuses people. So by explicitly demanding simple English, the blueprint ensures the explainer remains an inclusive, welcoming space. It just goes to show you don't need fancy $50 words to explain sophisticated wealth building routines. Actually, scratch that. True mastery of a subject is really shown by how simply you can explain it. Okay, Section 5, Mastering Audience Engagement, or how to keep the viewer completely glued. The prompt goes way beyond just the words being spoken. It explicitly demands visual and psychological tools. We're talking curiosity hooks to continuously tease upcoming value, giving the viewer reason to stick around. It demands B-roll ideas to provide visual stimulation so things don't get visually stale. And it requires on-screen text suggestions to reinforce key concepts visually, which is a massive help for different learning styles. These retention mechanics are the real game changers here. They transform a standard, boring lecture into a dynamic, multi-sensory learning experience that keeps the audience actively engaged from the first minute right down to the 8th. And finally, Section 6, the powerful ending focusing on driving audience action. The framework insists on a powerful ending, paired with a very specific call to action. Look, if you've just spent 7 minutes carefully guiding someone through 10 transformative daily routines behind wealth, you cannot afford to just fade to black. You have to land the plane. A powerful ending summarizes the core emotional and practical value of what they just learned, while the call to action actively directs all that newly generated momentum. It perfectly closes the loop on this optimized financial lesson by telling the viewer exactly what step to take next in their journey. So, to wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. How can you use this exact blueprint to better digest or even create your own content on the daily routines behind wealth? As we've seen today, successful educational content isn't magic. It's a highly structured, meticulously planned architecture designed to hook attention, loop through practical examples, and drive real actionable change, all in simple, clear language. Keep this blueprint in your back pocket the next time you set out to learn something new. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I really hope this deep dive has completely changed the way you look at educational structure.